Welcome to the construction paper bowl tutorial. So we're going to make a bowl basically out of strips of construction paper. This one is not 100% done because at this point, once we kind of get it into this bowl shape, we put Mod Podge inside it and outside it, and then it will keep the shape. Mod Podge will make it nice and strong. You can keep things in there, not food, but other things, and it looks pretty cool, like a bowl. So that is the final step. To start, we make a core, and then we make a puck. And depending on the diameter of your puck will depend on how big your bowl is. This one's diameter is about 3 inches. Remember, diameter is across the circle. This one's a little bit bigger than that. I want yours to be at least 3 inches, but it can be as big as you have the patience for. So we're going to start by making the core. Honestly, making the core is the hardest part. After that, it's pretty, it gets easier, and you just keep going until it's the size you want it to be. So to start this, you can see I have Scotch tape and strips of construction paper. You're going to start with 2 pieces of construction paper, and they can be the same color, they can be different colors, it doesn't matter. We're going to fold those in half like this. And the reason why is because we want to start at the fold that we create. Now, if the ends don't line up perfectly, that's okay. We want to try to line the sides up, top and bottom here, as much as possible. Okay, make a nice fold there. And I do want that fold to be as, nice and tight. So I'm actually using my nail. Okay, so the next step is to begin this core. You can see that it's rolled up paper. The trick to this project is to make it as tight as you can. The Mod Podge will hold it together in the end, even if it's loose. Mod Podge is amazing. But the tighter it is, the bigger you can make it, and the more it will hold itself together. So starting at the fold, this is my open end. Starting at the fold, I am going to make the smallest fold up I can. I'm going to try to fold it into itself as small as possible. So folding it up, and I might have to do that another time. But I'm trying to work it into basically rolling, but as tight as I can make it, right? So rolling it again. And eventually it will get to be rolled enough. I better do it again. So that we can pick it up. So once we get it picked up, we can begin to roll it onto itself. There's a very specific way you want to hold this project, okay? With your right hand, you're going to pinch it. Right now, I'm just going to use my index finger and my thumb. When it gets bigger, when it's like this size, I might need my whole hand. But right now, I'm just using those 2 fingers. My left hand is what's in charge of keeping this paper tight. It is very important that this stays as tight as I can make it. Again, a loose one can still be a bowl, but the tighter it is, the stronger it's going to be. So this paper pulls this way, pulls that way, and this hand rolls up, okay? The right hand rolls. I also have to hold it with my left hand, so let's see. Roll, and then I'm going to use my left hand to hold it there, pull my right hand back. Pull. Let's see if I can explain that again. So I'm holding it. This hand is pulling this out to make sure it's tight. I roll it up, but then I switch and take my left hand, takes it, let go with my right, start again at the beginning. So I'm always rolling into this and using this hand to keep, the left hand to keep it tight and the right hand to roll it up. Now, if you're left-handed, I'm sure you could do this opposite, but the goal is to keep it nice and tight. Now, when I get to the end, look. All my paper is at a different point. Don't let go. If I let go and it gets a loose, I better start again. We want to keep it tight. So what I've done is just sort of flip it over so that I have these folds here. I'm going to get a piece of tape that's long enough to go from here and tape this onto the roll that I've started. So I'm going to put this tape down on all 4 of those pieces. Okay. And then I can roll this in nice and tight. What I don't want is I don't want my tape to go above my roll. You'll notice it's not as wide as the roll. And that's fine. I can just have it like that. It will stay together like that just fine. If the little pieces of paper are bugging me that are sticking up where there isn't tape, I can get another piece of tape. I just don't want it to go off the end. I don't want it to be like that. Okay, that will mess me up later. I have to keep it within the roll. But I can add another piece if I want to. At this point, when it's so tight, those tend to want to go up. Later, I don't think you'll need it. But there it is. There is the core. So that's the first and hardest step, and you can always start over and do this again until you get a nice tight core. The next part is making the puck. So really, now that you see this next part, you will know how to do this project pretty much, except for the Mod Podge part, which we'll get to in another video. So I'm gonna take, I think 4 pieces of paper. You could do 3. Maybe I'll take 3 different colors so you can see it really good on the video. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna stagger them just a tiny bit. See that? Boom, boom, boom. So I can see all 3 of them. I want them lined up on the sides, but I'm gonna stagger them on the end. And that is so that I can put tape there in the middle. Tape, because I don't want it to go off the sides. Now I'm gonna turn this around, boop, so that it is like this, okay? I'm holding it so the tape is towards me. I'm gonna kind of line this up where the last one ended. Now you saw it didn't end all together, so I'm just sort of maybe starting at the first one. Can't remember which direction I was going now. I think it was this way. It won't really matter. Okay, so I'm gonna line it up with one of those where I ended, and I'm gonna roll it down like that. Okay, so now it's on there just like that. The tape is holding it. And I am gonna go, I gotta flip this over because I need to go back to that grip like this. The roll should always be on top of the paper, okay? Then the right hand rolls it up, hold it with the left, move my right hand back, pull this tight, roll it up, left hand takes it, pull it back. So that same movement we were doing with the core, where we're switching hands with the right pinching and rolling and the left holding it tight. That left hand is really important because it's in charge of making sure this stays nice and tight. And I roll, tight and roll, tighten and roll, hold it so it doesn't get loose. Now if I let go, I'm gonna have to start again making it nice and tight, okay? I can't just like, oh, good enough. Nope, it won't be good enough. I need to, yeah, this is annoying now, but I really need to take the time to get it nice and tight. Once your hands get used to this sort of holding, rolling, holding, pulling back, like all 4 of these like movements here, it will get faster for you and you'll be able to move pretty fast. Again, when you get to the end and you feel that staggered paper, and it's not very staggered this time, but when you get there, you're gonna take some tape and you're just gonna tape it. I wouldn't really use more than 1 piece of tape. Now that it's bigger, it won't be as noticeable. And so my diameter is what? 3/4 of an inch, half an inch, maybe 1 inch. I guess it's probably about 3/4 of an inch. So obviously that's not big enough, right? We want to go to like 3 inches. So I just get more paper and keep going. I can use all the same color. I can use multiple colors, however I want it to look. Once you get your puck to the right size, it will turn into a bowl. But I'm going to cover that in the next video where we talk about Mod Podge.